What's up, guys? Welcome to brobeatz. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make some modern trap beats. If you guys want subbed already on Super Songs, do so. It does help a lot. Let's hop right into it. Just be pretty quick. So for the BPM, I would suggest 160 and above. Okay, so you can go as high as you need to, but I think 160 is like the 160 and above is like the perfect BPM for this style. We can go like something like that. All right, so we don't really need a scale for this because it's very simple. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our melody, and this is the VST I'm using, just a simple piano. Okay, so with this, just for the beginners, I just want to show you how to make a minor scale by yourself, because this will be extremely difficult if you have no idea what notes to use. So we can start here. I'm gonna put it in the middle. So to make a minor, this is all you need. So you take this, copy this note, skip a note, and then you place, and then place another one, right? And these two notes are half steps, which will later help us get a dark melody. And then you take this whole entire pattern, you skip a space, place, and then you skip another space to get the last note. And then this just repeats over and over again, okay? So the notes we want to pay attention to are these right here, because they will help us get that dark. Okay, and I don't think these will play. I'll just change these to different colors so we can just put them out the way. Okay, so we can keep this here just so we can see kind of like the patterns we need. So for this, we need a bass line. So we can just use the root. And for something this fast at this BPM, I will let this play out. And then at the end, we can just add one of these notes, whichever one we like. Shift D to make this smaller. Let's try this one. Now you could use both if you copy it. I'm gonna just keep it here. So now what I want to do is we want to move these all the way down because we're trying to make like a dark piano. So probably go real low. All right, so I think that's good enough. Probably let's just keep it like this. All right, so let's come back up here, and then we want to go super high in order for this to kind of have a lot of range. And now we're going to start to play around with this scale. So what you want to do is on the first half, and I'm gonna zoom in for you. So on this first half right here, okay, we want to take this and pull this up an octave, and then we want to use those notes from over here. If I can get it all in one. Okay, we want to use these little notes, so you can use any notes you want. Okay, and then you want to come back to this note. So you can put whatever you want in between here, but this pattern here is very important if you want it to kind of sound authentic. And then on this side, you can kind of come up with whatever you want. So let's use some of these notes. And then let's take this note. And I'm trying to go slow so you don't have to watch this video again, right? I don't want you to have to keep watching videos to make melodies. Like, that's annoying. Right, and now we got us a melody. I'm gonna just short these up, and we can just copy this over. And look, we don't even need variation for stuff like this. We're done. All right, so that is the melody. We're pretty much done, and we can add a counter. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so for our counter, usually you can just add anything in this part. So I'm using the Balkan library, gypsy violin. So for sound selection for this stuff, any real instrument. So the four main instruments you can just pick from, and it'll automatically sound good: pianos, violins, aka strings, guitars, and flutes. If you pick those, you'll be fine, as long as you don't do too much. So let's go in here, and we don't even have to try. We can just take from the background. And this is another perk of not using like scales in the background, is you can actually see what you did. And then let's pull this down. Kind of stay in the harmony a little bit. Simple. All right, doesn't have to be the best thing in the world. I'm actually turn these down a bit. I actually think that made it worse. All right, well, that is the counter, and now we can add our drums. Okay, so now we have our 808. So with this is very simple. We can just look at our bass line. Now with a beat like this, or like any like type of beat like this where it's like super dark, it's not really chords, you can kind of get away with just using the same 808, unless not the same 808 but the same notes. So if you really want to like stay true to the style, this is the actual pattern that is used. A lot of people think it's this pattern. It's not. It is this. Okay, just keep that in mind. This is the pattern right here, not this. Okay, just letting you know that. So we can move this up, right? Again, it is not this. You can do that, it sounds fine, but if you want the real style, is this. All right, so to make variation, you can literally just turn it up. Right, and if you want to add in some of these notes and stuff, you can. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I'm just showing you like how you can make your own patterns. Okay, so that's the 808, and now we can throw in the drums to kind of add bounce to this. Okay, so I would usually just do this, you know, automatically, but there's something I want to tell you. So basically with this style, what you want to do is actually layer your drums. Okay, now you could pick a drum that already has it embedded in it, but it's just something different when you layer your drums. So you want to layer a snare and a clap together to kind of get that fullness. Okay, so I picked a higher end clap and a lower snare, and together they should kind of give us that like fullness in our drums. And we can edit these a bit. Let's copy it over. All right, so that's what I would do for the snare. So let's do the hi-hat. I'm gonna try to do it real time so we can see everything. All right, so now we're gonna do our hi-hats, and I like doing these last in this case, so we can kind of keep the flow. So I want to kind of adjust my hi-hats to everything that I have here, so that, you know, it's rappable. So probably like that. So you play around with the velocity a bit. Let's see what this is. Okay, that's decent. Let's see. We can copy this over. I'm not gonna do too much. I don't really like doing a lot with the hi-hats, because sometimes they just get annoying when it's so much. And you can use effects too. So when we do effects, I'm gonna try to throw some on just to show you some. So let's go to 1/3, and we can just add in like one of these little things here. Let's play around with this a bit. Okay, I like that. Probably do something like that. All right, now with these, we can pan them a bit. I never really pan, but I'm gonna do it because we have time. So we just pan one left and right, something like that. And maybe we can let it come back to like the, well, let's offset these a little bit. Okay, now make sure you reset the pan, because you see how your other notes will be kind of messed up. All right, so that is the beat. So now what we can do is go ahead and do some effects real quick. Okay, so lastly, we're gonna do some effects, and this is just to show people some things they can add. Okay, you don't really have to do this. I think this is perfectly fine. Okay, probably want to level this a little bit. So you can see I EQ some things, you know, just to kind of enhance the sound. So for the hi-hats, I just added shaper box. So with this, I added a pan, and I'll play it by itself. Okay, so I put added a pan and then a time effect, but I added it halfway through and turn the mix down. There's nothing on the high end part, just to make it sound like I did more, but really I just added effect. Okay, so now for the strings, I added pretty much the same presets here, but over here we have Portal and we have digital tape toys. And this is in start here. Okay, and I just turn this down. If you don't have this, you can just kind of add the same type of effects, tape delay, reverse, you know, some pitch stuff. All right, and then over here it's the same preset, it's just shaper box and a reverse effect. Okay, so I'll play these. Now this I would add like on a verse area. I will use both melodies. Okay, and that's pretty much, and then we just have like the Oxford for the peaks and stuff, and I boosted the highs to make it clear. And here's the beat. All right, so that is how you make a modern trap beat. Hopefully you enjoy. Make sure you like, subscribe, and new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.